caseload that we're looking at.
I appreciate your input, I really do. It just doesn't help
I think,
clarify what's happening to our budget.
I think part of the issue here is that, as we've all heard in the paper, that the Board of Selectmen will be making a motion to deal with the budget items on April 30th. These revolving funds, these were set already in the warrant. And part of the issue is that if you look down the front here, you'll see all of these people don't have a lot of papers in front of them because the Finance Committee, the Board of Selectmen, the School Committee, they did not all bring their budget books with them. If they did, there'd be a bunch of big books and bags lying there. So I think that's part of the issue, is they don't have all of their reference materials with them to answer this one question.
So when we go into a budget meeting on April 30th, are these numbers cast in stone?
When-
Gaps, or is that appropriate?
The maximum expenditure will be set at what's voted here tonight.
These monies come out of a special fund, and the monies are already in the revolving fund. Okay, they're not part of the main budget. Okay, they come out of a fund that either money is already in, or in this case, money will come from the state into this fund. And they're really directed specially for this purpose. They're used only for this purpose, come out of this fund. All the revolving funds we have mentioned up till now are all funds which are for a specific purpose. Okay, don't come out of the main budget. Okay, so, and the number
They're
that's
funded by taxes.
I know your deposits is not part of the tax, this is raised separately, all right? Whether it be in Parks and Recreation, which we did already. Parks and Recreation gets their money from events that they hold, like which you've heard of, such as the barbecue that they run. That money goes into the revolving fund that they collect. So it's not part of our budget, doesn't come out of the budget, but the town does control those revolving funds in the sense that we authorize expenditure. Anybody want to add anything to that? So this number here comes out of the school committee and is the number that they will be reimbursed for special ed. Okay, it doesn't cost the town any more money. We just authorize them to spend that money. We can't spend more than that money, okay, without the town authorizing it. Even though the money's separately in the account, they can't spend any of that money without this town authorizing them to spend it. But it does not come out of your budget. It's not in your taxes, okay? Does that answer the question?
That's helpful, Bill, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
I'll start by apologizing for making this a little bit more complicated, but my understanding of chapter 4453.5 is that each individual revolving account cannot exceed 1% of the aggregate funds accumulated by tax levy in the previous year, and that the aggregate of those revolving funds cannot exceed 10% of the aggregate tax levy amount from the previous year. So I would ask town council to give an opinion on this, because I believe that the 264,870 is beyond the 1% of the aggregate tax levy amount for the previous year.
Town council wish to opine on that?
Darren Klein through the moderator. No, I agree. The revolving fund comes in, it's reauthorized every year, which is required to do under law. And you're required to, as the articles do clearly in the warrant, set who is in charge of the funds and what the programs need to be spent on, and the cap on the amount that can be spent in a given year.
I think the question was, is a revolving account under Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E1/2, is the maximum for an individual revolving account 1% of the tax, prior year's taxes?
For each account, the maximum is 1%, and no, you have not exceeded it.
Further discussion?
I'm sorry, if the cap is going to be 1% from over prior year, and as the gentleman mentioned earlier, it's based on the needs within the school community and so on of the students, what happens if the need is greater than that 1% in any one of these incentives?
Mr. Massachusetts.
The revolving fund isn't need-based, it doesn't come out of your tax levy. The revolving fund is generated by fees, fundraising, and other items. And where the rain barrel fund is for when you purchase a rain barrel, that money actually goes into the rain barrel fund, and it's authorized and reauthorized every year by this town meeting. But the funds in the rain barrel revolving fund do not come out of your tax levy and are not generated through your tax bill. It's just a fund that is maintained and authorized by the town, and then directly, actually, the Board of Selectmen have control of where those funds are directed. But there's no real gain or losses by capping it or raising the cap on any of these funds. There's no effect on your tax levy.
I'm sorry, that wasn't my question. My question was, if the need should increase by more than 1%, what do you do?
No such revolving fund may be established if the aggregate limit of all revolving funds authorized under this section exceeds 10% of the amount raised by taxation. So that's what the law, that's all the
Mr. Massachusetts.
If the need in any particular account is more than what the revolving fund is authorized for, then we have to find it from another source. Then maybe it has to be funded through available funds in our budget. No.
Mrs. Wagner. Mr. Dardino, I recognize Mrs. Wagner.
The business manager has said that in the case with special ed, it's managed under the circuit breaker law, and that number is determined by caseload. The number that we're putting in the revolving account this evening is an estimate of what we think the caseload will be in September. If the caseload is higher, if we have additional kids that require services move in before the start of school, the number will be adjusted. And in October town meeting, we would deal with the reappropriation.
Further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, we have a motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Article 11, Mr. Dardino.
Mr. Moderator, I move to reauthorize the recycling promotion revolving account originally authorized under Article 12 of the April 2006 town meeting in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, to set the maximum expenditure for fiscal year 2008 at $2,000 as specified in Article 11 as printed in the warrant, and that any fees collected be deposited into said fund and expended to meet the program's expenses.
We have the motion. Does the Finance Committee wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Westerfeld.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The Finance Committee recommends.
Does the Board of Selectmen wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Dardino.
The Board of Selectmen recommend.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Article 12, Mr. O'Leary.
Mr. Moderator, I move to pass over Article 12.
We have a motion to pass over. Mr. O'Leary, if you'd like to explain to the audience why you made the motion to pass over.
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea, it's something we should be doing, but we haven't got the money to support it. So we have no money to put into it, so therefore, we pass over this time.
The Finance Committee agrees. Mr. Mr. Masterson.
Yeah, we agree there's no money for this. I'm sorry. The Finance Committee recommends passing over at this time.
Further discussion? Mr. Rowe.
There's contractual obligations here. I was going to look up.
Mr. O'Leary.
We meet the contractual obligations through the regular budgetary process that's included in the budget. This was a special act that was put into place a number of years ago, which provides for the authorization of a special trust fund in order to set dollars aside to draw off of. We did do that a few years back, and we did have some surplus money, but the way things have been going lately, we haven't been able to put any in there. In the 1 year that, I think we put it away for about 3 years in a row, and then we had an early retirement incentive bill that was passed by the legislature, which cleared the whole account out in one fell swoop in 1 year. So we have used it in the past, but recent years we haven't had surplus funds in order to put it in. But we fund our obligations through the regular budgetary process, though.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? Article 13, Mr. O'Leary.
Moderator, I move to pass over Article 13.
We have the motion. Does the Finance Committee wish to make a recommendation?
The Finance Committee recommends also to pass over at this time.
Does the Board of Selectmen wish to make a recommendation, Mr. O'Leary?
Just by way of explanation, Mr. Moderator, we've been trying to effectuate a land swap up in the Juniper Road area whereby the actual roadway which is being utilized crosses over some private property. We've been trying to effectuate a land swap, but it's going to take a little bit more time in order to bring that to fruition and get the Board of Assessors on board as far as the town-owned land that we're going to swap with it and get together with the landowner. So we're still in the midst of negotiations over it, and we're not at the point where we are prepared to bring it to town meeting for action. So therefore, we'll move to pass over.
We have a motion to pass over. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Article 14, Mr. Harris.
Mr. Moderator, I move to appropriate from free cash the sum of $449.33 and transfer from Hillby revenue the sum of $331.04 for a total of $780.37 to pay prior year's bills as specified in Article 14 as printed in the warrant.
Does the Finance Committee wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Mastercruiser.
Mr. Moderator, the Finance Committee unanimously recommends the article.
Does the Board of Selectmen wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Harris.
Mr. Moderator, the Board of Selectmen also unanimously recommends the article.
This is to pay prior year's bills. It requires a 4/5 vote of town meeting in order for passage. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Article 15, Mr. Misery.
I move to postpone consideration of Article 15 until after Article 29 has been disposed of.
Does the Finance Committee wish to make a recommendation? Mastercruiser.
Finance Committees will recommend that.
For the Board of Selectmen, Mr. Misery.
Just for information, this particular article has budgetary implications, and it would be more prudent to discuss this and vote on it at our April 30th town meeting. The Board of